Have you ever felt that no matter how hard you work, your habits just don't stick? Do you wonder why some people make progress easily while others are left behind? Why is that? Today we will share a powerful method that will help you master your habits. Are you ready to know this secret? So stay with us because today's video is based on James Clear's best-selling book, Atomic Habits. This book is considered the ultimate guide to building and breaking habits. After watching this video, you might not even need any other resource to change your habits. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Syed M. Quadri, a U.S. board-certified psychiatrist with over 20 years of deep experience in understanding the science of habits and behavior change. In my career, I have seen how small changes in behavior can bring major transformations in life. I'm excited to share with you how, by applying the principles of Atomic Habits, you can unlock your potential and achieve success in every field of life. Do you want to bring the same changes in your life that you have always dreamed of? Then Atomic Habits audiobook is for you. Watch the full video and learn how small changes can lead your life toward big success. So let's get started with this amazing, life-changing video. 1. The power of small habits, the magic of getting 1% better. Do you often wonder why some people are more successful than you, even though you work just as hard? Well, James Clear says that the secret to success isn't doing big things, it's simply getting 1% better every single day. This principle works like compound interest. When you improve just a little bit every day over time, those small changes create a huge difference. If you get 1% better each day in 1 year, you can become 37 times better. On the other hand, if you get 1% worse every day, by the end of the year, you'll be almost at zero. So, do you want to understand the magic of this 1% rule? James Clear gives the example of the British cycling team. In 100 years, this team had won only one Olympic gold medal. Then, their new coach, Dave Brailsford, told them to improve just 1% in every small thing. He made changes to everything from the tires of their bicycles to the pillows they slept on. Because of these tiny improvements, the team went on to win 62 Olympic medals in the next 10 years. Now let me explain this with another simple example. Imagine you're a student who wants to study 2 hours every day. Just the thought of that might feel exhausting. But James Clear says to start by studying just 15 minutes a day. This 15-minute habit will gradually improve your study routine, and by the end of the year, you will have studied 91 hours more. This proves that small steps taken consistently lead to big changes over time. 2. The power of identity. Change yourself first. Have you ever said, "I'm lazy," or "I never get things done on time"? James Clear says that until you change your identity, you won't be able to change your habits. There are 3 levels of change: outcome, process, and identity. Most people focus on outcomes like, "I want to lose 10 kilos," but real and lasting change happens when you change your identity. If you start seeing yourself as a hardworking and punctual person, your behavior will naturally align with that identity. So, do you want to know how your mindset can change your life? James Clear shares a research example where people with a positive view of aging lived 7.6 years longer than those with a negative view. This happened because their positive mindset motivated them to take better care of their health. Now let me explain with another simple example. If you want to quit smoking, stop saying, "I'm trying to quit smoking." Instead, say, "I'm a non-smoker." When your friend offers you a cigarette, you'll refuse without thinking, because it's part of your new identity. And just like that, you become what you believe about yourself. 3. Decisive elimination. Focus on one task at a time. Does your to-do list never seem to end, and do you always feel too busy? James Clear says that one of the biggest reasons we lack focus in life is that we try to achieve too many things at the same time. In today's world, multitasking is considered a skill, but James Clear says it actually reduces the quality of our work. Making too many decisions tires out our brain. This is called decision fatigue. When you're mentally exhausted, it becomes much harder to make the right choices. So, do you want to know how a lack of focus affects your decision-making? James Clear gives the example of a panel of judges. In the morning, most of their decisions were in favor of the prisoners, but as the day went on, their decisions became stricter. This happened because making continuous decisions fatigued their brains, and they were no longer able to make fair judgments. Now let me explain with another simple example. You might try to read 5 books in one day, but you probably won't finish even one. James Clear says that instead of focusing on priorities, you should focus on one priority. If you want to improve your focus, simplify your work. 4. The 25 by 5 rule, ignore what's not essential. Do you constantly jump from one task to another and end up completing nothing? James Clear says that the key to success is knowing what you should do, not just what you can do. This rule teaches us to be very selective when choosing our goals. Warren Buffett's rule says that we must completely eliminate the things that distract us from our most important goals. So, do you want to know how to choose your goals effectively? James Clear shares that Warren Buffett once told his pilot to write down 25 things he wanted to achieve in his life. Then he told him to circle the 5 most important goals and put the remaining 20 on an avoid at any cost list. Buffett said that until you achieve your top 5 goals, you must not pay attention to the other 20 at all. Now, let me explain with another simple example. You might want to focus on your fitness and start a business at the same time. But if you also spend time learning guitar, painting, and partying every weekend, you'll get distracted from your main goals. Remember, if you try to achieve everything, you won't achieve anything. 5. The 3 R's of habits, reminder, routine, reward. Have you ever wondered why bad habits form so easily, while good habits are so hard to build? James Clear says that all our habits run on the same cycle, reminder, routine, and reward. This cycle creates a loop in our brain. When we feel happiness or satisfaction from doing something, our brain motivates us to repeat it again and again. To break a bad habit, we have to break this cycle. So, do you want to know how you can quit a bad habit? James Clear explains it like this. You watch TV, reminder. You feel like having snacks, you eat them, routine, and you feel satisfied, reward. To break this cycle, you have to remove the reminder. Now let me explain with another simple example. You want to read a book every morning, but you never manage to start. James Clear says you can attach this habit to another one. For example, when I make my coffee in the morning, reminder, I'll read 1 page of a book, routine, and then I'll enjoy my coffee, reward. And just like that, the quicker the reward, the faster the habit will form. 6. The 2-minute rule, the hardest part is getting started. Do you often say, I'll start tomorrow, but that tomorrow never comes? James Clear says that the biggest obstacle to starting a habit is not a lack of motivation. It's the friction or difficulty in getting started. This rule teaches us to make our habits so easy to begin that they take only 2 minutes to start. The goal is not to complete the whole task right away, but just to start. Because real motivation comes after you begin the work, not before. So do you want to know how to make starting any task easier? James Clear says that if you want to run a marathon, don't try to run 10 kilometers on the first day. Instead, just put on your shoes and walk outside for 2 minutes. This small step won't exhaust your brain, but it will prepare you for the next steps. Now, let me explain with another simple example. You want to do yoga for 1 hour every day, but you feel tired just thinking about it. James Clear says you should simply roll out your yoga mat and stand on it for 2 minutes. And in the same way, apply the 2-minute rule to start any habit. 7. Pre-commitment and implementation intention. Do you often want to get something done, but end up postponing it when the time comes? James Clear says you should create an environment where it's harder to follow through on your bad habits. Pre-commitment means making a decision today for your future self. You take steps now that will guide your future you toward the right path. Implementation intention is another principle where you link your goal to a specific situation. So, do you want to know how you can stick to your goals? James Clear explains that if you want to go to the gym, prepare your gym clothes and bag the night before so that in the morning, all you have to do is get ready and leave. Now, let me explain with another simple example. You want to stop unnecessary spending. James Clear says you can set up your salary so that a portion is automatically transferred to your savings account as soon as you get paid. That's a pre-commitment, and in the same way, prepare your mind in advance to reach your goals. 8. Keystone Habits, 1 habit, multiple benefits. Do you want to change many things in your life but don't know where to start? James Clear says we don't need to work on every habit individually. There are certain habits that automatically improve many other areas of your life. James Clear calls these keystone habits. Just like in an arch, there's one stone that holds everything together. In our lives, there are certain habits that trigger the start of other good habits. So, do you want to know which habits can completely transform your life? James Clear says that making your bed every morning is a keystone habit. It gives you the satisfaction of completing one task right at the start of your day, which boosts your confidence to tackle other tasks. Now, let me explain with another simple example. Meditating for just 10 minutes every day is a keystone habit. It improves your focus, reduces stress, enhances your sleep, and increases your emotional awareness. And in the same way, one good habit can bring multiple benefits into your life. 9. Environment design. Use laziness to your advantage. Have you ever wondered why we often end up doing things we don't actually want to do, just out of laziness? James Clear says our brain is naturally lazy, and we tend to do whatever is easiest. James Clear teaches us that we can use this laziness to our advantage. We can design our environment in a way that makes good habits easier to do and bad habits harder to follow. So, do you want to know how to take advantage of your laziness? James Clear says that if you want to eat healthy, keep nutritious snacks on the kitchen counter and hide the chips inside a cabinet. Now, let me explain with another simple example. You want to exercise for an hour every evening? James Clear says you should place your workout clothes and shoes on the couch in the evening. When you come home, these clothes will remind you to work out and make it feel easier to start. In the same way, change your environment so that good habits naturally become your preference. 10. Seinfeld strategy: don't break the chain. Do you want to master a skill but can't seem to stay consistent? James Clear says mastery only comes from consistent action. James Clear shares a strategy from the famous comedian Jerry Seinfeld called "Don't Break the Chain." This strategy teaches us to take at least one small step toward our goal every single day, no matter how small it is. So, do you want to know how to maintain your consistency? James Clear says Seinfeld once told an aspiring comedian to get a big calendar and, after writing one joke each day, put a red X on that date. Over time, those marks formed a chain, and Seinfeld didn't want to break that chain at any cost. Now, let me explain with another simple example. You want to learn a new language? James Clear says you should learn just 10 new words every day and mark your calendar. And in the same way, keep working every day and don't break the chain. So friends, this was the complete summary of James Clear's brilliant book, Atomic Habits. The biggest lesson we learn from this book is that major changes in life don't happen overnight. They are the result of small steps we take every single day. Our success largely depends on our habits. James Clear wants us to understand that we should simplify everything, focus on our identity, and most importantly, stay consistent. Remember, as a famous author once said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. In other words, we are what we do over and over again. Excellence is not just an action, it's a habit. Friends, today we broke down the 10 most important chapters of Atomic Habits in a very simple way. If you want the complete audiobook of this book, let us know in the comments. We'll definitely bring it to you. And if you want to discover the power of your mindset, don't miss our next video on the power of mindset. Do you know that your mindset can be your greatest strength or your greatest weakness? Do you believe talent is something you're born with and can't change? In our next video, we'll answer these questions and explore how the way we think determines our success or failure. So get ready to unlock your full potential. See you in the next video. Until then, keep building your good habits. Thank you.